Hello
And
everyone, welcome to today's Novedge webinar, Discover VisionLiDAR and 3D point cloud solutions. VisionLiDAR solutions are for mobile, terrestrial, and aerial LiDAR with imagery. Maximize your LiDAR project with VisionLiDAR unique features you are about to see. So let me introduce today's webinar presenter. Edmond Charland is a 3D spatial imaging expert, and he was the first one to own a 3D scanner in Canada in the early 2000s and has many years in the field with scanners and with 3D processing point cloud software. He has joined Geo-Plus team 3 years ago and is the International Business Development Director for the VisionLiDAR solution. And now let me tell you a little bit about Novedge. Novedge is one of the largest online stores for design software, and Novedge is changing the way designers purchase 3D software with a simpler and faster experience and offering complementing products all in one place. No headaches. Here's the Novedge page where you can find VisionLiDAR, and all the complementing products are very easy to find. And for more daily software news and limited time promotions, you can always find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you name it. And I want to remind you that I'm recording today's presentation, so you can watch it again on Vimeo and YouTube. Just search for Novedge. And now I will share Edmond's screen so he can get this presentation started. Okay, I see your screen, Edmond. Take it away.
great. So good morning, everyone. My name is Edmond Charland, and I'm going to present you today VisionLiDAR. It's a complete 3D point cloud solution for all your needs. So VisionLiDAR is developed by Geo-Plus, who is a software developer for over 31 years since now. And today I'm going to do an overview of the software and show you how our tools and solution can maximize your workflow from the point cloud to your deliverables. So VisionLiDAR has many tools inside it that goes from classification, extraction, diffusion for reports, volume computations. We also have a BIM modules integrated, and this is all this that everything that I'm going to show you today is part of VisionLiDAR Premium. There's a little mistake on the presentations. It's not. I'm going to show you the premium version of VisionLiDAR. The difference between the standard, I will explain it to you a bit later. So to start, VisionLiDAR, we work with point cloud software. So we work with point clouds data. So everything that comes from aerial, terrestrial, or mobile scan can be processed by our solution. So to create a project, we have different kind of options. We can also generate batch process to create the project, or to create the VisionLiDAR 365 projects, which is our web share solution. So if I go to the project, you just need to give it a name and project locations and the source file that can have the format as LAS, E57, PTS, CSV, X3A, FLS from Faro, LS project also from Scene, and Recap. So we can have the option to merge all those scans into one point cloud, or to leave it separate so we can manage each scan individually. So I'm gonna start with a project that has aerial and a mobile scan also. So here we have a three files, two from aerial and one from a mobile. And if I show you by intensity, this is how it looks like. So we can see we do have an aerial scan, and here we do have the mobile scan. Okay, so from there, what we can do is we have different tools in VisionLiDAR. For the visualizations, you have the option to visualize in color if the point cloud is colorized. In this case, I think it's only the mobile scan that is colorized, but it's not that very nice. And all our data comes from different kinds of projects with different kinds of equipment. So, and with this, when combining aerial and terrestrial, the advantage is you get an overview. You have a top view, so where you can have information on roofs, and with the mobile, you can have the information over the ground. As for the trees, in this case, VisionLiDAR has a dendrometry tools that allows you to do some tree analysis. Okay, this same tool is available here in the object dongle and under trees also. So this is where you can see all those trees. And for each trees, you get the information out of it. Okay, so if I want to have this information from one tree that I have in the point cloud, I will get the center, so the position of the tree 8, the trunk 8, the diameter at breast 8 also, the crown diameter, and we can decide to play with the shape of the tree, if it's a cone for a pine or something, or for a tree. So if I go in my point cloud and I want to have the information of that tree here, I just need to click on it. Whoop. We need to have a good definition of the trunk, at least a third of it. And also to make sure that we pick the right points. As you see, we have tools that can help us to isolate something, an object or a tree in our case. And if I go back to my tool, then I get the information of the tree. If I want to adjust it, like sometimes they're all together, but in a bunch, you can play with the repick the information. So for the trunk 8 in our case, I can repick pick it here, and it's gonna adjust the trunk 8 depending on how I select it. And the same thing for the crown diameter. You can adjust everything. This can also be done if we do launch classification first, which I suggest it's better if you classify the ground and all the other information. You can use the batch processing tools to analyze, to do the detection and have the analysis of the dendrometry of the tree here. Now, if I'm to show you some other tools, VisionLiDAR also allows you to register your point cloud. So if you have a control list of points, control points, you can use them to recalibrate your point cloud and have a better accuracy. So now I'm going to show you a project for where we can use the registration with a drone project. So if we look at the project here, our control points are on the ground here and marked as red, because how I did that with the intensity, I know where they were, and with my selection tools here, I can select this area and classify it as a reference. Okay, so let's say I call it reference 20. Go to my class here, reference test, and I can give it another color. And if I go back to my view by class, so this is how I have identified all my control points that are in that project here. And to do my registration, I go to the registration tools, and I've used a list in that case. So in green is the known coordinate, the control point here. And in red is where I have picked to remove them. So when I do that, I can validate at the end and get a report out of it. And in our case, our standard deviation is that's you know, 0.1 inches, let's say. So which is very good. Okay. And also, I'm going to talk about a bit about classification. So I'm going to reopen the same project. Close this one. So here I have a project where I've used the some classification, like for the ground detection. So everything that is in brown is the ground, and it was detected by our tool, the ground detection. So first, without having to classify any trees or houses to do that. So how it works? Oops, not tree. Surface. So you can see when I launch a detection, a ground detection, what the algorithm will do is it will search for the lowest point on the ground and won't consider the other information. So in this case, we can see that we haven't like the trees wasn't taken in consideration. Same thing as for the houses. So everything If I go back to my class, is everything there? Yeah. So you can see it's not taken in consideration. So with this, you can fastly generate a surface. Once your surface is created, we have a tool here, surface, yes, where you can select some points to say classify everything that is below and above the surface within a certain distance to be classified as ground. So automatically you can send this to the ground class and only have the ground left. Okay. If I'm to open another project, okay. Whoop. Okay, so here in this project, it's a tunnel that has been scanned with a mobile mounted on a car. And in this case, what I want to show you is how to use the road bisection to create an adaptive templates to generate a 3D meshes and surface that can be brought in your CAD platform. So it could be AutoCAD, MicroStation, Civil 3D. So we're compatible with that. And all the lines that we're going to create will be lines with connectivity, which means that every line will be connected with a point that has a point number and a description attached to it. So your drawing can be drawn automatically in your CAD after following your standards. So if I go in my road bisection tools, here how it works, you need to specify an alignment along the road, or it could be a bridge, it could be any kind of surface, an overpass. You generate an alignment, and from this alignment, we're gonna create a template that we're gonna duplicate over along that road line. So how it works here, if you look at the first one, so you see everything is in red, or is my template that I've picked with the following the point cloud that is behind it. So I'm going to show you. But if you're not satisfied, you can always edit those points. Whoops. And move them. Okay. So believe me, the lines are moving here. I don't know why, but sometimes where we're in a live connection, it doesn't follow up. I don't know, but I assure you that you can move it after if you're not satisfied very easily by taking the control button and apply it to the template. Maybe if not too inside it. Let me go back to it. There's, No. Anyhow, this point should go over there if the point cloud was there. And what I wanted to show you is that the point cloud is just under it. So when we're doing this, so this is our first section, and we can go all along like that, every jump onto each section and adjust it. In our case here, we have added an extra template to go get the door that is in the point cloud, in the tunnel. Once that is done, you can create your chain. So every chain will have a point number, an XYZ coordinate, and a P code that you can give it to it. Okay, and you can also create your surface. So this is our surface. And all those points here can be saved also and exported directly to your CAD. So if you go here, and for the export, we have the XF export shapefile, KML, and you can also export your alignment and your surface in the Land XML format. If I'm to go to another project that includes imagery, so here we have another project with a mobile and the imagery also. So view, spherical images, and if I go in one, so I can have my my point cloud here. Zoom in, zoom out, and take and use the imagery to make sure to confirm a sign, to take a measurement also. So it's possible, like here, to take an elevation of the street lights here. So, and I have some other measurement tools for 2D distance, 3D distance, slope measurement, angles, 3D angles, surface areas, and what I want is to measure the elevation here. And I get my dimension here just to show you. Oops, wrong way. If I change the color, maybe. There it is. That's the one. So that's my measurement here. Okay, so this is the imagery, and we can jump from one picture to another also. And if we have let's say missing information, or we wouldn't have any points on a pole because there was a car parked or something, we have a photogrammetry tool when you can pick from one image to the other image and calculate the position of a pole. So, and you can save that point also in the database, because VisionLiDAR works with a database, and that same database, if you have the ultimate version, can be linked to your CAD platform. So it's just an add-on that you can install in your CAD, and from there have access to the database. Also, whoops, if I want to go okay. Here also in this project, there we have a cluster tool, and the cluster tool, what it does, it's once you have detected the ground. So in our case, how come we don't have any surface? We should have focus Geo. Focus Geo. Okay. Let me see. View. Analyze cluster. The ground. Okay. Okay. There it is. So here I've launched a cluster analysis in that section. And what the cluster do once the ground is isolated, it looks for individual point clouds, so bunch of point clouds that respects certain distance between each of them, and can have a minimum point also where you can play with it. So what it does, it will identify all those clusters, and with the filters you can work by category, create category like for cars, and automatically classify all the detected cars. Obviously the cars have different kind of dimensions, so you can have many kind of category for a car. Okay, so I'm going to show you how it works. It's very easy. So if I use let's say auto car, all my categories, so all my clusters, and I would say I would like to classify those cars here. So what I'll do, I'll use the information tool here to identify the cluster, and also we can show the name and the size of the cluster here, and the name to a better. So in our case, 38 it was, I don't remember. Let's say it was. Okay, so what we do, we right click on the bottom and we copy the dimension of that filter here and use that filter. So all the other cars will be detected that has the same dimension, and then be classified automatically. So we can create a new category, +4, and then that category will be our new category that can be used to classify the cars. So we can do that for all the poles, the people, the fire hydrants, the mailbox. All those information can be fastly classified with that tool. We can also, if I go back here to the classification tool, excuse me, if you have classified the wall, because we have a tool to classify surfaces, and we can classify automatically all the windows. No, not windows. Wall. Here. So once, if the wall is classified, the cluster will detect the windows also, and these windows can be used and exported to IFC BIM for to be used in Revit or other BIM software. So that's for the cluster tool. Another interesting tool is the power line detection tool or the catenary detection. This one I have another project also. File. Open power example. Okay. So here, I don't want to see object cylinders. Okay. So here we have a power line, and with our catenary detection tools, we can detect and classify those points individually or in batch. So if I to show you, here you can see they're all classified already, but it to show you how it works in real, because we always like to see reality. Detection. Once again, we need to click the proper So we'll go up to the end, and it will create a line. That line can be used after to classify the point cloud. So we can classify in class 15, let's say, all the points that represent the power lines in a radius of, in that case, I don't know if it's in meters or in feet, 0.05, and then it will classifying depending on which power line you're using. So you can select them all or just one at the time. We can also launch a batch detection in batch for the power lines. We have different settings we can use. So if you work in meters, settings will be different than those in feet, and that's it. And also, if you have here, like in our case, a section, and maybe there's some missing point or something, and we have the other section, we can join those two lines together. So once again, we always have the tool to finish the job properly. Okay. Also with that tool, you can launch some clash detections. So let's say you would like to see this is the visualization with the classes. In green is the vegetation. So if we wanted to see if there's any conflict or anything with the vegetation compare with the power lines, we can also use the class and skip the class 15, which is our power line, so we don't want to have them in conflict. And in a certain distance from that power line, it will identify you and put you everything in the class 16, which is there. So fastly you can generate a report, add some measurements, and give it to your contractor so you can go clean out this area. Also, time is going, but we can detect automatically the poles after we have detected the lines. Okay, another interesting thing is the Dtm Surface Creation, or 3D model of surface. So, Okay, here. So here we have a that project was made by a drone by imagery. So the 3D point cloud once generated, we've brought it in VisionLiDAR, and we've generate the ground out of it. So you can see that once again, VisionLiDAR is very powerful to do the ground detection and make you the best representation out of it. That can be used also in civil for volume computations or something, anything like that. Okay, so if I take you here, let me see, just trying to find. All right. I just wanted to show you there's an area where there's some concrete blocks and there. Here it is. Well, so you see there's a truck here, some concrete blocks here, and if I put my surface back, you can see that they're not taken in consideration. Okay. The other thing is I can select an area and create a surface also out of it to do some volume calculation. So I'm going to open my database. I'm going to go in my civil module, and here I have my ground surface. So if I load it, I can go in my volume tool here, and I'm going to use an existing surface, which is ground under tree. And ground under tree is it's only the outline of the stockpile here to make the surface, the comparison surface. So we have different kind of options. But very easily we can generate a no. And we can get our volume here, and we can save that report also to be shared with other people. So this is for the surface, the volume calculation. I'm going to show you another project where we're going to generate some contour lines. Sometimes we need to generate contour lines, and open. So here we have another area where it was made by a drone, by imagery, from where we have extracted the point cloud. So VisionLiDAR, the way it's working, you see the timing go in. So further, I zoom in, we're adding some details. So this is how it allows us to manipulate huge point clouds. Okay, And now it doesn't look too good because my background is green, so I have settings here. And VisionLiDAR has many settings that you can use to, to change, don't know which one would be the best depending on the type of point cloud you have, but usually, it's not too bad sometimes. Leave it, let's say white, but and also what we can do, the point size, put more detail. So we can play with the level of detail here, the point size also. Okay. So you see now I have much more information. Okay, and to know, if you're curious to know, this project has whoops. Did I close my project?
I think you did.
Okay. Okay. So I'm almost finished. So here, if we go to our civil module, and I use my surface ground 5. And I would like to generate some contour lines here. So I'm gonna update my min and max altitude, smoothing, and by triangulation. So we can generate automatically contour lines. So you can keep all your and you can keep all those lines, and you can export them in DXF, S3, MID, GeoJSON, and KML. So fastly, you can generate a contour lines for your deliverable, or you can also use many other tools to generate nice reports. I know the time is flying now, but I imagine in a further or next seminar, I will show you more about those tools. And if you'd like, I would invite you to let your suggestions on maybe some application or certain tools that we can maybe show you next time. Also, and I'm going to finish also with the last one, file. Open. So here we have a bridge under construction where we have generated the surface of it that can be exported directly into CAD. And I'm going to do it fast, but what is great about VisionLiDAR is we have different kind of tools that can extract lines, road lines automatically, and generate DXF report out of it. And we have also a survey tool where you can pick points and lines, and here that could be all your standard. So if you want to survey, like if you were doing with the GPS or something, you can create lines and connectivity, add lines, and one further they go on, they will all connect together. We can also pick and draw directly into CAD with another window that I can show you also in another presentation. And here, just to show you how it works, we just need to pick, and the line is designing. And if we don't like where we have picked, we can just repick the position and change it very easily. So like that, and you can continue to pick your object that you need. If you need to do another line, you just need to create another line, just like that. You can create alignments also. You can do many things with that tools, all with the extraction. So this can be exported directly into your CAD. And if I'm to show you what it looks like in the CAD, so view. So you see, you can you have the exact information that I have extracted from the point cloud. Escape. Whoops, I'm not a CAD user, but this is how it goes into CAD, and this can follow all your standards and everything if it's already a preset. So that will do for today's presentation. I hope you have enjoyed, and if you have any question, please feel free to ask me.
Thank you so much, Edmond. I will take the screen back. In the meantime, I urge you to comment or ask your questions. We have a question tab in the control panel. Some of you already found it. And one question is, what kind of hardware, like 3D laser scanner or drones, do you recommend, if you can do so without conflict of interest? Hello? Edmond? Okay, I think Edmond is having some trouble with the microphone. While we wait his reply, I just want to remind you that I've been recording this demo, so you can find it on YouTube and Vimeo. Yes, Edmond, did you hear my question? Okay, while we wait for Edmond to connect back with us, I want to show you the product page where you can find VisionLiDAR. And let's see. Okay, the sound is gone. Okay, that was the one question, but we'll have to wait for next time. And I want to remind you that you can find Novedge on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and Instagram. And I also want to tell you that Novedge is changing the way designers purchase 3D software with a simpler and faster experience and a huge catalog of complementing products all in one place. Check us out on Novedge.com. Thanks again for joining us today. Have a great rest of the day. Bye-bye, everybody.
Hello? Hello? Hello?